Hi. Hi, this is a walkthrough from start to finish of Zoe's treatment. So she started off with an upper partial denture like this, and we've finished the treatment with this. So often these patients come in, I quite often get them where they've got one solid tooth, and it's going nowhere. There's no periodontal problems. It's caries free, and we can use this window denture just to fit over, which just takes the patient from this to that. The complaints were this was loose, it was uncomfortable, it wasn't looking good. She wanted it changing. She wanted something that was stronger. And her dentist had been treated her and actually tried to make her a metal-based denture, which just wasn't working. It wasn't comfortable. And also it had broken a few times too. I just want to share with you how we took the patient from this to this metal-based denture with a really interesting little O-ring just in the middle there. This gasket denture style. It's fantastic. You can see she's using lots of fixative on that upper one. So take it from this to this. What I like to do is just do a Zoom consultation with the patient to start off with, just to work out what their concerns are and just see if I'm the right dentist for them, see if I can help them and give them an idea of cost. So I could just let Zoe know how much potentially this would be. So she came in. I actually had a good look at her. This is a presentation. I like to take plenty of photos at the presentation. It just helps with my diagnosis. The incisal plane here was just dipping on this, dipping from the right-hand side down to the left on there. So it wasn't aesthetically fantastic. The teeth were a little bit too small. Lip support wasn't fantastic as well too. So just not great. And she just wanted this sorting out. So when patients are referred to me, I just deal with what I'm sent in, and then the referring dentist can just manage that patient further on down the line. She's quite local to me. But this is one of these plastic dentures, and they're really, really hard to deal with, aren't they? She's got this is her without the denture in, good positive occlusion and intercostal position just there. We've got enough space to work with. A little bit of fix there, which is used to help hold the upper denture in place. So good solid tooth, no mobility, no pocketing, no caries. Great. She's using this fixative. There's no retention, gain at all with this. There's quite a bit of tooth wear you can see just biting through that to there. So primary impressions, I use this two-part technique using this is alginoplast squirted up into the sulcus and then blueprint in a stock tray. Just lovely and solid, flows up. Got it right up into the sulcus. This is what I wanted to do. Just record the sulcus depth just there. It's fantastic. So really, really good. And got a lower impression, primary impression now. Sorry, it's my dog just barking in the background just to record that. So this is my primary cast. What Rowan and I do, we just put this onto the surveyor. We have a look at this just to see if I need to make any alterations to that tooth. The angle of this particular tooth is perfect for locking it in, helping hold an upper denture and using this. It's using the gasket denture style technique. So this fits, beautifully on there. So we can just use that as a lovely approach here. So visit 2, we've got a custom tray. This is 3mm spaced and plenty of space over the teeth here. 2 little perforations in it. Well, the rest of it's just like a complete denture. And I've also got this primary jaw registration, which helps to mount the working cast to enable the Gothic arch trace to be set up. So that's my wax rim primary jaw registration and the upper custom tray ready to be border molded. So I'll pop green stick on here first. I'll take that to the mouth when it's warm, and then seat that and just get it square with the frenum in the mouth there, and so it's not avoiding scraping on that tooth there. I then border mold. I put a little bit of green stick just on this buccal edge here from around about the premolar backwards, border mold it by pulling the cheek, getting the patient to waggle the jaw and open wide. So I'm border molding this section just here, and this is going to be just like a complete denture there. It's just ready to do that. So I just pop my adhesive onto the tray all over, alginate adhesive, and then load that up with quite like a medium consistency, medium runny consistency. Glaze it first, take that to the mouth, and then get the patient to mold that. So I pop that in and get them to go waggle the jaw, open wide, powerful suck of my finger, and also try and get them to pretend to do a yawn as well, and also blow candles out like that, so that all of this periphery is molded to all the functional movements that the patient is going to make, so that denture is going to be as stable as absolutely possible. So this is after it's functionally border molded just there. Got all these frenal attachments. Look at that. So I want to avoid all of those in the final denture. And I want Rowan, my technician, to make the denture to this extension. Beautifully done. Really lovely, like that. I also quickly trim this primary jaw registration. This is not for positioning the teeth. This is literally just for mounting the working cast to then set up the Gothic arch tracer for visit 3. So that's just done with Futile D like that. So if we fast forward now to visit 3 registration, I'm going to use wax rim and the central bearing apparatus. So this is what Rowan supplies. So this is the proper wax rim here for prescribing tooth positions. And then we also have a Gothic arch tracer here, which enables the positioning and finding of the patient's centric relation, which is like super important. Really, really important. So I carve the wax rim first, and I do it using these superb dentate pictures that we have. So lips together when the patient had the natural teeth, smiling, natural teeth here. And I'm going to carve that rim. I carve it using this set order. So doing a lip support first, using that photo there, and then do the incisal plane, using that photo there, and then the occlusal plane, getting it parallel to the ala tragus there. And this photo is really helpful, getting the center line, do the buccal corridors, and then record the right vertical dimension, making sure that we've got a nice little overbite just there in the wax rim. So just doing that, just getting the OVD so the patient looks good, here. So this is the carving. You can see that her upper teeth are a little bit retroclined. She wants to mimic that. She wants to mimic the lip support. She wants to mimic it exactly so that no one knows this is going to be a denture. And then this is the secret. It's so important to give Rowan this photo here of the natural teeth, and also this photo of the trimmed rim there. Dead important. I also like to take other photos and just look at the lip support, because I'm wanting to just make it just the same as it was with the natural teeth. You can see that Zoe here, the lip support isn't really massive with her existing natural teeth. I want to mimic that. If she wanted to bring them forward and have more lip support there, then I would do that for her, and we can do that with complete dentures. But I want to do exactly what the patient wants, which is keeping it just the same as when she had a natural teeth there. So I also do a facebow, which is really important with helping mount the upper cast onto the articulator, because I want Rowan to have on the articulator Zoe's head position in a social position. It really helps him to arrange the teeth in a aesthetically really lovely way, because he's basically got her head on the bench looking at him. So I do this facebow. It's very quick. I use the Denture system, but I think that you can use any sort of system that's out there, like the Cavo, Stratos, Arm & Gerbach, any of the good quality systems for this. It's a 5-minute job. I think it's really, really important. So that's really great. So that's the upper rim carved, ready and done there. So when I'm carving the rim here, you can see I've scooped it out on the inside just there, so that the teeth are going to fit really, really nicely. And we've got a proper overbite on that there. All the marks that I need to give Rowan are that centre line, because he can select the teeth of the right size using our denture calculation, our tooth calculation formula, which you can see on my construction manual in the resources section on the website. So this is the upper rim there. So this is my definitive upper rim. Rowan likes to reinforce this with shellac there too. So the second part of visit 3, the jaw registration appointment, is the really important recording of centric relation. And I've used Gothic arch here because I want to give her a new occlusion. So right back, and then we've got a new bite on this whole denture, and this helps me to record that. So that goes into the mouth. I get the patient, Zoe, to go forward and back, and then side to side, and then all over. And it creates this mark here, which is an arrow, and the tip of the arrow there is centric relation. So now, in order to fix those together, I pop a plastic disc over that, stick that on with some wax, and then I take this to the mouth, pop that straight in, fit that together like that there, and that's locked in place at the right vertical, and then squirt that in just like that. So it's fixed together. See how, like this, absolutely solid in place. So that means that the upper and lower casts can now be mounted really accurately using that CR record. So these are my working impressions, which are mounted using the primary jaw registration. So this is the end of the visit. Rowan's going to take these off, detach them, and he's going to use that and this to mount the upper cast. So that's the upper carved rim, the facebow to mount that upper cast, and he's going to use the Gothic arch tracer to mount the lower cast to the upper, and then we'll have patient's head on the bench. So that's what he uses to mount these working casts there, because he wants Zoe's head on the bench so he can then set the teeth and arrange those teeth using these photos that are brought in, which is super, super important. Like that. That's where the sleeve fits over. That's the back of the denture. That's the gasket part of the denture. So this is a wax try-in. I love using these Shotlander Enigma Life teeth. That's all I use for all of my patients. They're the most lifelike denture teeth on the market available, and they're absolutely fantastic. And I love using them with different colors, lighter incisors, darker canines, darker posterior teeth too. That just helps to make them look more realistic, and that in the mouth too. So these are all arranged according to my carved wax rim. And incidentally, Ron says that, and technicians say to me, carving a wax rim is the worst thing that dentists do. They just can't do it very well. And it's just so important to carve it really well, so that it helps give the technician an idea of exactly where those teeth need to go. So let's go now to visit 4. I always have 2-week intervals in between my visits. I can try this in, check it. And what I love about using the Gothic arch is that the bite's always correct. But I want to assess 2 things here. I want to assess the aesthetics and the bite. And the patient can really have a good look at this there. But this is the trying in place, fitting beautifully there. It's got the same shape as the finished denture with that window in it, the gasket. And the patient can have a really good look at this there. And what I do is a video of the patient as well with this in place. So we run this video so that Zoe can have a good look at it and just make sure she's totally happy with the aesthetics of it. She sits down and looks at that, looks at it in the mirror as well, and also looks at it on the still photographs too. If she's happy, we can then proceed to finish. So this is what we do. So processing of the dentures now. So Rowan finishes them. Now we make a metal base for these ring dentures like this, so that fits there, because it really helps to strengthen the whole thing. This metal here is not retention, it's not retaining the denture, it just helps supporting it and preventing it from cracking over time. But inside the denture itself is the important part. So encased, the acrylic work is encased, the mesh is encased in acrylic, and then this here is the part that really is the working bit. So there's an O-ring here. So the denture is fully processed and finished by the technician, by Rowan. And then the technician, Rowan, adds a little ring using the working cast of an O-ring of this stuff called retention seal 200. It comes in the 200, 400 and 600 that we use the weakest retention grip, and that's just placed in there. It's like a resilient silicone springy material, a little bit like Moloplast B, much easier to use though than Moloplast B, and then that just fits into that area. So an O-ring just fits over that tooth. If you'll have a look at the side view of Zoe's denture there, we've got, this is the, just, there's the undercut, the end of the start of the undercut there. So we just put it in 1 millimeter into that undercut. Rowan doesn't extend the retention seal all the way down. It's just literally into just 1 millimeter into the undercut. And that's inside the denture, inside that window there. There's an O-ring, and it's fantastic. These things, they fit beautifully over the tooth there. Now, if this is visible, sometimes Rowan will put just a tooth on there, just a sliver of a tooth on the outside, just to disguise it. But quite often they're tucked away. So most of the time we don't need to use a tooth on that there at all. So, and this is the finished denture with this beautiful Shotlander Enigma Life teeth there. And this gum tinting is an American product called Secret Acrylic Tints. It's absolutely superb in it, and with Candulor veining fibers in too, just to make it look super real. I like to get it really thin underneath the base of the nose. And this is a nice class 2, division 2 look to the denture too, the tooth positions. Nice post dam on it. They're not too heavy, these things. This is just 22 grams in weight there. And also just over here, we just put a little bit of relief. There's a midline torus there, so the denture's not going to sink into that area. So this shows the dentures on the working cast there, the finished denture. Rowan always keeps our working casts, which are mounted, and he makes the dentures on duplicates of the working casts. So it means I can check the bite, I can have a look. He can also adjust the occlusion, and also we can go back right to the start if need be too. So this is his approach. Beautiful. So I came to fit the denture. At the fit appointment, I want to just make sure the fit is perfect. And it was. It just went straight in over that tooth beautifully. There's no pain either at all. I want to check for soreness. And also I want to check the occlusion, and the patient bites together. Got a lovely even occlusion on both sides. And this was the case for Zoe here. So, which is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I fitted that. And she came back for one review and she was absolutely fine with it. She has no pain, nothing, super happy, hugs all round. Really great result, great patient, and knew exactly what she wanted. We just put the teeth back exactly where they were originally. If she'd wanted more lip support, then I would have done that, if she wanted. This is the end product, and I think it looks really, really great. And she's just so happy with it, to taking it from this to this. So it was really, really great, really good fun doing that. And it was, and normally, I need to see the patient for 2 reviews for these types of things. It's absolutely fine in the future. Now, I always say to the patient, though, is that, look, it may end up that you lose that tooth there. It could, and the denture will accelerate the demise of that tooth there. But if that is the case, then I can just add a tooth onto it. And I've been doing this technique for years now. And in the practice, I've done over 50 of these, and I've only needed to take out 4 molars for the patients. And what I do is we just add a tooth onto the denture, take the natural tooth out, add a tooth onto the denture, and the patient runs perfectly afterwards with that. I find that because their neuromuscular control is developed, then they get on really, really well. These work beautifully for lower teeth too, particularly if we can grind the lower tooth in a little bit. So on the lingual aspect and create more space. This is if the patient has a crown tooth like that, we can just mill that crown in a little bit more just to make space. Just using the same retention sill design, but making it a full denture. Again, if that tooth is lost, we can add a tooth to it and lift it really, really well. Again, this is Mary here. We made Mary an upper complete denture and a lower gasket denture there. And this is her with that. We copied her smile and copied that occlusal count there, which was absolutely fantastic. Loved it. And she loved it too. And again, this was just fit. No reviews. Absolutely. She was fine with that. She did not need any adjustment at all with that. So absolutely terrific. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me with this newsletter. Please, if you want to come on any of my courses or come and see me around the world, just have a look at the website and check on that too. And I've also got tons of resources on my website at finlaysutton.co.uk with case studies and breakdowns of everything like this. Thank you very, very much indeed. Bye for now. Bye-bye.